We can even watch a video of how this all started. Let me pull it up here.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'm about to.
And we can see the footage of exactly what happened because it's actually kind of crazy when you look at it. It's like, okay, I can understand why people are outraged, but at the same time, boycotting a whole race because of one person's decision. I mean, when are we gonna start boycotting the hood then? You know, when they gonna start boycotting their weed man?
boycott rap music,
Boycott rap music. That's what they need to do.
real music, all
Boycott
that.
the rap music.
Mm.
Let me see. If we could get the boycott on the rap music, on the hip hop industry, and even as far as Hollywood, painting the picture of always doing some reckless, terrible shit,
Right.
being the influence of that all the time.
Just cleaning up the image in general.
Yeah. If we could boycott all those things instead of boycotting people's race because we didn't like something about it. But hey, let's hear what they got to say about this. They're gonna show the video of what happened. I'm gonna let them describe it a little bit, and then I might just skip to the video.
I'm just sharing it out right now.
What's up?
I'm just sharing out the podcast right now for the live.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and get yours rolling. I'm gonna start this video. That should give you some time to get fully set up. I know you're running a little behind with the setup. So you was busy a little bit. Let's get this
was
rolling.
shot and killed outside a Columbia gas station.
And today, jurors heard hours of emotional testimony from witnesses while also seeing newly released body camera and store surveillance video from the day of that shooting. We want to show you one of those moments right now.
Real quick, right back.
In this video, you see Cyrus wearing a red jacket, telling Rick Chow's wife he does not have any water in his pockets before picking up his backpack and walking out of the store.
And shortly after, Cyrus was chased by Rick Chow and his son, Andy, before the teenager was shot.
News 19's Kiki Gushu was in the courtroom for all of today's testimony and the moment these videos were shown to jurors.
She is joining us right now from outside the Richland County Courthouse with the latest.
So, as y'all seen, it's not just that they went and chased them down. They completely stopped what they were doing, left the register unattended. Let's go back and look at it. They left the register completely unattended to leave this dude. Look, there's a customer sitting here, another customer sitting here, and they both leaving. Here's the son, here's the father. They're just gonna leave their entire establishment because of a kid who apparently stole 4 water bottles.
One kid.
One kid stole 4 water bottles, according to them, allegedly. And they all leave their whole business. Anybody could have stole from there. They could have went back there and took everything in the register. This is
Today's testimony and the moment these videos were shown to jurors.
She is joining us right now from outside the Richland County Courthouse with the latest update. Hi there, Kiki.
Erica, JR, today's testimony moved away from what happened in the street that night Cyrus Cormac Belton was shot and moved back into the Shell gas station that Rick Chow owned. Now today, most of the afternoon was spent showing the jurors, the prosecution showing the jurors, surveillance video from that Shell gas station. They also brought to the stand a new witness, investigator Tama Jordan. Now, the state played surveillance footage showing Cyrus inside the store and questioned former investigator Tama Jordan about the gas station's camera system. Jordan testified Rick Chow's familiar with the surveillance equipment, and prosecutors repeatedly asked whether those cameras could have been used to help identify Cyrus later rather than chasing him.
so they had a full security system. Could have easily went and caught him later. Called the police. Did anything. But instead, they chose to take it into their own hands, run all the way down there, and get this dude. This is crazy. And this is the type of stuff you see in most cultures that people like to say, aren't doing much. The black culture, the Hispanic culture, people like to stereotype for those. You don't normally see an Asian family do stuff like this. This is crazy. This is what you see in the hoods in New York. And then you see the Indians do it down in Texas. But you don't see this a lot from the Asians. That's kind of weird to me. Let's continue it. They'll get into a little bit more
Do
detail.
you think you would have some tools to help identify him
Yes,
and investigate whether or not he had stolen water?
yes.
Do you feel confident law enforcement could have handled this?
Absolutely.
Also presented testimony from a firearms expert who said the bullet recovered in the case matched a Glock 45. Late in the day, the defense shifted its focus to Cyrus's possession of a firearm, showing jurors a social media photo taken the night before the shooting that showed him holding the same gun found at the scene. The final witness of the day was a forensic pathologist who testified about the path of the bullet through Cyrus's body, as attorneys continue to debate what his position was the moment he was shot. And court has now wrapped for the day. The state is expected to rest tomorrow, and then it will be the defense's turn to bring witnesses to the stand. At 11, I'll be bringing you a recap of all of today's testimony. Stay tuned for that. And I'll be in the courtroom for the rest of this trial, bringing you the latest. Live in Richland County, Kiki got.
All right, Kiki, thank you so much.
News 19's Christy Calcagno sat down with an attorney today to get a better understanding of what happened today. Take a listen.
We're talking about with this video in the convenience store. There were parts that we were able to hear everything, which was also really interesting. And then also kind of those close-up shots, also specifically showing the water bottles.
Yes.
The moment on that. Kind of break that down for me.
Okay, so he did have the water bottles.
Yeah.
So he did actually steal the water bottle. I thought that he just allegedly stole water bottles. I thought he didn't even steal them.
Well, that's the thing. As we continue to find out, there's that discrepancy. Did he have them or did he not have them? What we do know is that at one point, he definitely did have the water bottles.
Yeah. Apparently, when they found him, he had the water bottles.
I didn't know that part.
Or at least I think that's what she was saying. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, we were able to see some close-up shots. And like we said, all of this happening in a span of 2 minutes.
Right. I think the video clearly shows he didn't steal anything. You see him go to the cooler and, I counted. He took 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he kind of pauses and puts 1, 2, 3, 4 back. So then when he leaves, it kind of left.
So this kid is completely innocent and got shot and killed. And he put the water bottles back.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane.
We're wondering, well, what was his purpose for going there to begin with? Because he gets the water bottles. He knows he's being watched, right? Because they tell him to put his backpack up. And he complies with that. He follows that rule. Okay, fine. So he puts the backpack where he's told to put his backpack. But then he takes the 4 water bottles and puts them back and then leaves the store without taking anything. I think if I were a juror here, I would know, well, he didn't shoplift anything. He didn't take anything. They're clearly from this video accusing him, and they think he did. They probably, in our mindset, we're looking very intently counting, those water bottles because we know this case and what the issues are. But, I would leave with several questions. One, clearly he didn't steal anything. He didn't take anything. They clearly thought he did. But 2, so what was his purpose for being there? Why did he go there? But, in social media, I've seen some of the comments talk about it and people say, wasting time. I'll go into a store and just peruse around and window shop. And I've done that too. So maybe he was just walking around the neighborhood and, it's May, it's hot. He had a hoodie on, maybe just going in to get some air and wandering around. But it is very odd. It is odd that he took 4 water bottles out and then just put them right back.
Well, if you.
So he took the 4 water bottles, he put them back. He didn't even, and when they were confronting him here, you see they confronted him here about it. And he showed them that he didn't have the water bottles. He straight up showed them. And what's crazy is, if you've seen him take the 4 water bottles, how did you not see him put them back? If he clearly didn't have them in his hoodie, his backpack was way over here. Like his backpack is right here, down here by the cooler. So for it to be on that level of, hey, he loses his life like a kid, a 14-year-old kid. Like we talked about the Carmelo Anthony situation and Austin Metcalf, and that's a terrible situation too. He was 17, but now we're talking about somebody even younger than that. 14 years old, like that's insane. 14, you didn't even get to drive a car yet. You didn't even go to your first high school party.
None of that.
Man, what do you guys think though? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think that this guy was justified because he picked up the waters, and it looked like he could have stole the waters? Do you guys think that he was justified in chasing him down and trying to get his stuff back? What do you guys think about this? Let me know what you guys think. What do you think, Des? Do you think that he was justified for going after him? And
I definitely think he should have just stayed in the store. I mean, the guy was already, off premises at that point. You call the police. You're engaging in vigilantism at that point. Well, according to Texas state law, I'm not sure what South Carolina state law is on that point, but definitely in Texas state law, that is vigilantism, and that's almost like a
yeah, no, that's a fact. It's actually insane that you could chase somebody down because, firstly, self-defense is whenever there's an imminent threat, and he had no threat to him at all.
Right.
Even still in his property is insane to me. Oh, you're gonna chase somebody down and shoot them because they stole your property, and it was less than like $10 worth of shit, maybe $15 at the max. Like, come on, bro.
Like that,
What's up?
Like a family heirloom or something like that. But
yeah, that's insane. And then you chase them down and shoot them over that. That's crazy. James Battenberg said, "What did the defense use to beat the case?" You know what? I'm gonna look that. I'm gonna see if we got a video about that.
He's a good lawyer, and if you can find a video on that, I think I remember what his tactic was. But if you can find a video on it, to get his actual words, that's even more. That'd be even more cool here.
You know what though? I did see earlier. I was gonna pull up this of them talking to the witness. So I think I didn't get to watch this full video, mostly because I wanted to keep it fresh with y'all. I wanted to keep it where I'm reacting to this with you guys, instead of kind of Monday night quarterbacking it. So let's see. The prosecutor yells at gas station owner's son over fatal shooting. I think this is a video that I was looking at earlier. Look at. Let me see. So first I'm gonna play this one, and then we'll get into. I'll try to find a video of the defense statements, so that we can get that up there for you, James. By the way, James, shout out to James. He followed me over from Instagram. James is a real day one, y'all. James has been with me since my very first month doing this. I started 5 months ago, 6 months ago in January, and James has been with me on Instagram. James has been with me on Facebook. James is a real one.
Rocking with you. Thanks, James.
For real. See what Jesse said real quick before I start this video. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Jurors can be so different. Another set of people could have seen it different. But a good defense lawyer can also change the outcome of a trial. I agree to that. And it's kind of crazy because, like, the little clip that I'm about to show you guys, I seen a little piece of it before, and it was like, to me, like, just that little clip alone already tells me, oh, you guys fucked up. Like, you guys shouldn't have did. You guys did something wrong for sure. And he admitted it, and it was just the witness statement of his son. So I'm about to play that now. James Battenberger said, "Thank you guys." No, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys tapping in with me and supporting And we have good conversations, man. You hit me up and send me different topics, stuff like that. So I appreciate you, man. Let's get into this.
Is there a reason you can't answer my question with a yes or no? I mean,
Because I was told I can't testify for someone else.
So real quick, just to add context, in case you don't already realize, this is Chow's son. So the guy who shot the 14-year-old boy, this is his son. This is the same son that was there and chased him down with him. So he's having his witness statement of his dad shooting him.
Or say,
you can say
And this is
everything
the
you saw
defense
and you know to be
prosecutor
true.
over here
okay, yes,
in
sir.
the gray suit.
Okay?
Yeah, to my understanding, they're
Correct me
trying
if I'm wrong, but that's how I've always understood
Testimony
witness testifying.
from the son about the dad. Like they're trying to get the dad's point of view from the son. Is what
Yeah. So basically, they're trying to make it unbiased in a way of, hey, you were there, but you didn't actually pull the trigger. So what did you see? How was he justified in that way? Which what he says, and you're gonna see here in a second, and this might be the wrong clip. I might have to play the other clip. That's fine if we have to. He's gonna say some stuff that makes it seem like, I don't know, man. I don't see how they beat this case. Genuinely.
Do you have any reason to believe that your dad was up there against his will?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not
He
against his will.
voluntarily ran up Springtree Drive to where Cyrus Carmack Belton was shot, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And nobody stopped him from calling 911, to your knowledge.
No, sir.
Nobody stopped him from printing up these pictures of Mr. Belton, correct?
To my knowledge, no, sir.
Nobody made him leave the Shell gas station that day, right?
Oh, no. To my knowledge, no, sir.
He did it on his own, with his own free will, correct?
Yes, sir.
The shooting doesn't happen if everybody stays in the Shell gas station that day, correct?
Everyone? Yes, sir.
It doesn't happen, correct?
Okay, so you hear this giveaway?
Mhm.
You hear how he said everyone? Yes. Like, oh, okay. So you're telling me if the 14-year-old kid stayed, it's his fault. It's the 14-year-old kid's fault. He left when he was being chased by two grown men who were accusing him of doing something that he didn't do. That's what he implied.
Yeah, that's what I heard. The intonation in his voice.
That's what it sounded like to me. I mean, I don't know how else you could take it. If it was my son and I was looking at it, I would feel that way. And I would be honestly pretty pissed off that you're even able to say something like that, knowing that a kid. And speaking about remorse, we've been talking about remorse with the Carmelo Anthony case all week. Where's the remorse?
I
It
mean,
doesn't sound like there's any.
on some level, he's kind of right because we can't say what they would have done definitively if if Cyrus had stayed. So, like I said, on some level, he's right. If everybody had stayed, possibly it could have been resolved without all this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, 14-year-old, you got these two adults, been hawking me down since the moment I came in the store. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being a 14-year-old kid, and I want to know y'all's thoughts too. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that it would have been different if the kid stayed in the store? If Belton stayed in the store and didn't go anywhere, do you think that he would have? Do you think that's the determining factor of saving his life, or do you think that this guy took it out of context and went too far? Because, I mean, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like they care. Saying that it's the kid's fault. Firstly, he's a kid. He's 14. Why would you have to use a weapon on him in the first place? Why would you have to do any of these things in the first place? There's no need for that. There's no need to, you could pick the kid up easily and detain him. And in reality, the same way that we were talking about the situation with Carmelo Anthony, how come he didn't call the police? How come he didn't walk away? How come he didn't let why didn't he de-escalate? Why didn't this Asian guy, Chow, Why didn't he de-escalate? Why didn't he call the police? And this is something he could have easily called the police on. People do it all the time. And then, they trespass you. They capture your image on their camera. And then whenever you come back in the store, they call the police again and they come pick you up.
And that's why there's been so much talk behind these two cases in particular, because it looks like if you don't look on the surface, it looks like if you stay and defend yourself, you get in trouble. If you run away, you get in trouble. That's what it looks like on the surface, right? Until you get below the surface and actually start looking at the actual factuals and the evidence and the witness statements of what's been going on. That those two instances are not the case to be argued.
Yeah.
But what is the case to be argued is the particular case of Carmelo, separately from the particular case of Chow and Cyrus.
Right.
Two separate entities there.
Well, I will say though, it because they're so close, the trials are, because this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this case started blowing up even more after the Carmelo Anthony verdict. And when you start to look at it and you start to say, hey, well, how are these two things so much different? How come this guy gets so much slack and this guy doesn't? People do start to look at that. And now this could be a number of different things on why he got slack. Maybe because he's a business owner, he's a store owner, he's a part of the community. Maybe he gets a little bit of slack on that. Maybe he had a better lawyer. Maybe his defense lawyer was just really good.
And he was.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he had to be. For you to plain day chase somebody down and shoot them in cold blood, and it's a minor, and you get nothing. You just get sat in the courtroom for a few minutes, and then they let you go.
Technically, he got 3 years, but yeah, nothing. Essentially.
Yeah. But essentially.
Yes, sir.
I'm correct in saying that is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Shooting doesn't happen if everybody stays put in the Shell gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else briefly?
It doesn't happen if Cyrus doesn't put a gun on you either, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
Anything else today?
You don't even know there's a gun if you stay.
Wait. So
nobody got mad.
Hey, hello. Wait, so was that the prosecutor or was that his lawyer? Because I feel like
From
that
the
kind of was
off screen.
the white guy. I feel like he was helping him.
No, the white guy's the prosecutor.
Well, I mean, at the end of it, was that him saying that? Let me go back.
No, it was the defense attorney that shouted out, that asked the next question. It sounded like, did you something to the effect would everybody have been okay if they had known there was a gun in the store or something like that?
Right. Because the defense is the black guy, right?
Right.
There's a gun if you stay in the gas station.
Wait. I gotta go back one time.
You don't even know there's a gun if you stay in the gas station.
That's
Right?
Your Honor.
Are they allowed to just yell?
You don't know
I don't know if that's
if you
illegal.
got a gun if
Oh,
you
it's the
stay
same
put
gun.
in the Shell gas station, correct?
Intimidating the witness.
Yes, sir.
Do you get to do that in the courtroom? Like, is that?
Yeah, that looks like coercion to me. I'm just saying. From
You
my
know what this looks like? This looks like an episode of Power. When what's his name? The white boy Jax, I think his name is. When he get all pissed off, that's what this looked like.
Yo,
I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Bro, he doubled down, sized him up, bucked at him, and said, "I'm correct. I'm correct." Ain't I?"
he mad hang on the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is this what they do? Did they get away with that?
bro.
I didn't think they could do that.
Hey, it's WWE out here.
Man, you would have thought. You would have thought. Okay, let's see what he had to say in the defense. These videos are kind of long. We're not gonna play this whole video, but I'm gonna try to, skim through, see what we can find that's worth hearing him say. And
I remember growing up and watching shows with my
Okay. My computer just acting slow as hell right now. No worries.
I remember growing up and watching shows with my father. And I'm old enough to date myself a little bit that we would actually listen to radio shows. And one of the radio shows that we would listen to quite often is a guy named Paul Harvey. And what he would do is he would tell stories. And then telling stories, what he would do is tell a story that he thought that everybody actually knew. He would tell a story and he would give details of a story that he thought that everybody actually knew already. And he would tell it, and he would tell it in his interesting way, but what he would do is intentionally leave out parts of the story so that people would be a little confused because they'd heard the part of the story that they thought that they knew, but he would leave parts out. And then he would take this huge pause after he was done and everybody think it was over, and then he would say this famous line. He would say, and now it's time for the rest of the story. And then he would spend the rest of the show telling the listener the rest of the story that they did not know. He would do this because he understood people. He understood that we are a generation of people who simply listen to headlines, listen to flashy things, and don't hear the rest of the story. He understood that if he could tell just small parts of the story in the way that people thought that they understood them and didn't hear the rest of the story, then they would believe things one certain way. And the way that he did it was fascinating. It was interesting. People started to understand that that's the way we have to start listening. Because if we only hear part of the story, then we can never get to the truth. And so as we sit here and get ready for our closing argument, all we're going to do now is tell you the rest of the story. I will tell you wholeheartedly, and this might come across as a shock.
Now, this dude here is an actor.
I agree with you.
You hear how he set that whole thing up? I gotta refresh this because this is moving slow. But you hear how he plotted that?
I remember.
How he set that up? He told a whole
And
story.
telling stories, what he would do is tell a story that he thought that everybody actually knew. He would tell a story and he would give details of a story that he thought that everybody actually knew already. And he would tell it, and he would tell it in his interesting way, but what he would do is intentionally leave out parts of the story so that people would be a little confused because they'd heard the part of the story that they thought that they knew, but he would leave parts out. And then he would take this huge pause after he was done and everybody think it was over, and then he would say this famous line. He would say, and now it's time for the rest of the story. And then he would spend the rest of the show telling the listener the rest of the story that they did not know. He would do this because he understood people. He understood that we are a generation of people who simply listen to headlines, listen to flashy things, and don't hear the rest of the story. He understood that if he could tell just small parts of the story in the way that people thought that they understood them and didn't hear the rest of the story, then they would believe things one certain way. And the way that he did it was fascinating. It was interesting. People started to understand that that's the way we have to start listening. Because if we only hear part of the story, then we can never get to the truth. And so as we sit here and get ready for our closing argument, all we're going to do now is tell you the rest of the story. I will
See what I'm saying? You see how he sets that up? See, these lawyers, people think lawyers are just there to set the facts. They're there to paint a picture. And I keep referencing this Carmelo Anthony situation because he had a terrible lawyer.
Man.
They didn't paint any type of picture for his narrative. You see how this guy is painting this?
Against him.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's, you know what I'm saying? It sounded like he was testifying against him.
No coercion,
Right here
no
is
break.
different.
Just one simple question. Yeah, I think he did it. You're my defense, though. Like, why would you put him up there?
You know, helping out the wrong side.
Man.
Okay, so Goldie Hoser says, the difference is that one brought a weapon onto school grounds and had been warned before and wouldn't leave. So he was the aggressor. All schools have zero tolerance for weapons. Big difference. Child was out of line, chase him down, maybe shoot him, not because he was 14. Lots of murderers are 14 or younger. But over water bottles is stupid. He did put them in his hoodie, so his intent was to steal them. but he did put them back. So at that point, there was no theft. If your comment goes on, it doesn't show me it, unfortunately, or I'll read the whole thing. But I appreciate you adding your opinion into the chat and joining the conversation, Goldie. I agree for the most part. Like, I really do agree for the most part of what you're saying. Now, I don't have any slack on Chow either for what he did. He was completely out of line. There's no way you should chase down anybody for $5 worth of items or $15 worth of items. That's not even a felony. That's not even a misdemeanor at that point. Doing that is absolutely absurd. But at the same time, everything that Carmelo Anthony did was absurd. So I agree with you. The big difference is, yes, he was doing illegal things already before the actual crime happened. I can agree to that. It's a good point. What's your thoughts on that, Des?
Carmelo and this one?
Yeah, what's the biggest difference to you so far? We haven't really got into everything quite yet, but what is the biggest difference to you so far?
If I were to take it so far, honestly, everything.
I mean, as far as getting different verdicts, right? A lot of people are comparing these two things because they're like, oh, somebody died and they were doing the wrong thing, and there was a black kid, and then somebody died and they were doing the wrong thing, and it was an Asian guy. Because everybody knows you can't chase anybody down and claim self-defense at any point.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I get it, it is very different cases, but what is the biggest differential between the two of these? And y'all can let me know in the comments too. I kind of want to hear what everybody's thinking.
I got one.
This is
what's the I guess like a house law type deal, property. So one was a stone owner. In the case of Chow, he's a store owner. In the case of Carmelo, he was under someone else's tent. So
Yeah.
whether you call it entitlement, whether you call it ego, pride, whatever, this is my shit, right?
You know, I call that classism. A lot of people like to credit things to racism when it's not. It's classism. What class are you in? What do you own? What's your worth? How much money do you have? Are you contributing to society? That's what they go based off of now. They like to look at it differently because if you, at the end of the day, whether it was his store or he was a worker in the store, or even if he was a customer, once you leave that area, the threat is no longer there. There's nothing that's harming you. There's nothing that 4 water bottles was not worth a kid's life. You know, a crime is a crime. And I feel like this guy should have got 35 years. Honestly, I can't see why he wouldn't, even if the kid got a gun. Because that's what I'm hearing, is the 14-year-old had a weapon. But at the same time, you would have never known that if you never left the store. If you never chased him down 135 meters. You would have never known that. So I just don't see how this guy is justified in doing what he's doing. He gets so less of a time sentence. You said 3 years. I just know it's absurd. And, you know, depending on what state, what area he serves his time, obviously it'll probably be in the same state that he's in. But he might not even do 2 years. He might get off on 50% time. I don't know how those rules and regulations are over there. But that's how it works a lot of times. You know, just get into a
Tell
little
you
bit more.
wholeheartedly, and this might come across as a shock, I agree with some of the stuff that the state of South Carolina said. When they got done with their closing argument, folks next to me said, "Do you want to take that dollar down?" And I said, "No." Because let me tell you with unabashed honesty, they are 1,000% right about the following statement. If Rick Chow executed a human being over a $1 bottle of water, enjoy hell. Let's make that
$1.
clear. If Rick Chow shot a man in the back stealing $1 bottle of water from his store, you do what you will. Because there's nothing to justify this back and forth. Was he right? Was he wrong? It doesn't matter. Taking a human life over a bottle of water is absolutely ridiculous. It's wrong under any way that you could possibly look at it.
Now I'm curious. This nigga got me trying to figure it out because is that not what just happened? He's saying it like it's not. Like they could prove that it's not. I'm confused. It's not making sense to me. Kayla, shout out to Kayla. Over a $1 bottle of water. Yeah, I know, right? Apparently 4 of them. So $4 worth of water. Absurd to me. Well, I mean, do y'all think he's going to be able to prove something differently than, what it already is? I think he's guilty already. I mean, you think this lawyer can really change do you think this lawyer is actually going to change your mind throughout this, or do you think that they just chose to give him a lower sentence?
He's definitely committing the act.
Yeah, because I think it's wild that he doubles down so much, like he was innocent and he wasn't. But I guess that's what lawyers do. I don't know. I've never been in this situation where I needed a lawyer in that way.
And that's why the state has gone out of their way to put this $1 bottle of water up, to put this picture up, because they want you to believe that this is what this case is about. The rest of the story. It has nothing to do with this water. It doesn't. Because if that was what it was about, this wouldn't be a complicated case. As we sit in front of you, the things that we have to talk about is we have to break down everything that we have watched in this case. We need to break down what the state of South Carolina has presented to you. And as we break it down, we can break it down inside of 3 classifications, what they put on the stand. They put on what they call eyewitnesses. They put on investigators. And they put on experts. You remember? Those are the 3 things that they have given us. So first, let's talk about the eyewitnesses. And the reason I want to talk about the eyewitnesses first is, remember, and I wrote down a quote that the state said, cameras don't lie. For 17 seconds, you could have played the camera. For 17 minutes, you could have played these cameras. If you remember, these witnesses got on the stand, they sat in front of you, and I asked them questions. They looked directly at you. They were talking about what they remembered. They were talking about their memories and how important that is. And then I started asking them questions from right there. You remember? I said, no, I'm not trying to be rude, but I remember you talking to 911. Do you remember that? Yeah. And you said something different to the 911 tape that you're saying right here today. I asked another person, isn't it true that we don't interview witnesses together because they can get their stories together and their brains could get something that didn't really happen? Yeah. And that's on video, correct? Cameras don't lie. And they called 911, and in the 911 call, they said they didn't see anything, correct? Cameras don't lie. But don't you remember, and I asked one of the witnesses, isn't it true that you told them something and they said that was completely impossible? Well, yeah. And then they've met with you, they've talked to you, they've interviewed you and put you on the stand and you told something different. Cameras don't lie. So why are we sitting here and not watching those videos? Why didn't the state give you the 911 calls? Why didn't they give you the videos? Why didn't they give you the information? If cameras don't lie.
So I guess he's fighting the case that the witnesses are corrupted. They're not telling the right thing. The information is incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Or unreliable, at least.
Yeah, some form of that. I don't want to play this whole video because I don't want to get copyrighted. But what I'm going to do is I want to know everybody else's thoughts. I want to know, we got some people in the chat right now. Come on, y'all. I know y'all are more active than this. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is something that a lot of people are talking about. I know everybody in my chat right now is opinionated about this. Do you think this is racial? Do you think this is about race? Do you think that this is something that is just black and white, not as bad as what Carmelo Anthony did? Because I think that this is worse than what Carmelo Anthony did. I think Carmelo Anthony was in the heat of the moment. I think this guy chased him down. I think that's way different. Kayla said, I have questions. Why did I have to look at this trial? Why did I have to look at the trial? Because I am not too familiar with it. Yeah, exactly. It's not getting as much publicity as it should be. More people should know about this situation, this case, this trial, and not many people do. And this is 2 weeks old, and this is just becoming popular now because the Carmelo Anthony verdict. If it wasn't for the Carmelo Anthony verdict, this probably wouldn't even be popular now.
which is weird to me.
Yeah,
It's almost like this is the scapegoat. Like we lost one, let's latch on to the one we think we got.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Let's see. Let me get. I'm gonna pull up some clips on TikTok of people talking about the boycotts. We can get into that. Cause see, my thing is the whole black community wants to boycott over this, and I get it. I mean, even me, I think that he's guilty as hell and that he shouldn't have got away with this. But boycotting an entire race because of one person is insane to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at it. My thoughts exactly. I'm not sure which thoughts you were, saying too, but I agree with you. If you were agreeing with me, I agree with you. All right, so let's see. People were talking about this boycott.
You on YouTube, TikTok?
TikTok. Yeah. Why is this volume not playing?
I've been having issues with my TikTok for about a month now, man.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, you know what?
Well, that when black folks made this statement, whoever came up with this particular boycott, y'all know that they
Okay,
didn't.
so they're going against it. Let me get somebody who's talking about it. I don't know why TikTok acting like they can't show me nothing that all these people been on here talking about it. Nah, I can't find nothing on here.
And I'm gonna just make this video to say this. There is Amazon. There are custom nail techs. The secret to clear skin is knowing. The secret to dark spots being removed, I can't remember the name of it, but there's only really 2 things that you need for skincare. So we don't need Korean skincare. You get what I'm trying to tell y'all? You get what I'm saying? Where I'm getting at? People doing press-ons at the house. People ordering hair off Amazon, ordering everything off Amazon, including the hair glue, the edge control, anything for black hair, we can get it off Amazon. The chop shops are no longer doing exactly what I needed to do. I asked for pink French tip to match my toes. She forgot. I do my own nails at the house too. Sometimes when I feel like it. So my point is, I have been already, is it subconsciously? Is that the word, subconsciously? I've been already on my way out the door when it comes down to doing business with Asian folks. No disrespect, like, Asian cuisine and everything like that. Cool. Like, I like sushi. Love it.
Okay, I'm not that interested in what she has to say. Let's see. Micah Zulu. You know, this is one of those people, when I be talking about the blackity blacks, that their whole identity is being black. This is one of those people. And I'll say, this guy, he comments on all my stuff. He's always a hater. Uh, I didn't even read his last comment because he's a hater. He said, hell yeah, boycott that shit. Of course he would say that. You're a low mentality type of person. Of course he would say stuff like that.
What kind of phone?
Agent's been.
Is that Mike? What kind of phone? I'm asking Mike what kind of phone he got.
He got a Galaxy 4. Micah Zulu. Asians been killing black people and getting off since 1991, 92. You know what? Just because you brought that up, I'm actually going to. That was one of the things I was going to talk about, is the history behind this. So let's look at it. I'm about to bring that up. So this is not the start of this type of stuff. This has happened in 91. So let me pull this up.
Was that after Rodney King?
Or
was that the Watts race riots?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
My friends are good Christians. I mean, we've been through so much, and to go through this, I mean, everything 22 years down the drain.
Many Koreans who yesterday were the shopkeepers of South Central Los Angeles today have lost the businesses they took years to create.
What can I say? I don't have any word to say. This looks a comeback, John.
George Huang woke this morning to find his mini mall burnt to the ground. A loss of $1.5 million and a lifetime of dreams and effort.
I don't mind that. Whatever they need, take it out. But why they burn out the property? That's my question.
41 Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted. In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular, they employ their own, they keep to themselves. Blacks say that's the problem.
I'm not surprised that the Koreans got targeted because their prices are high, their attitude is wrong, and they just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
You know how it all started? The first thing when a girl got killed from the Oriental.
March 16th, 1991. Ladolpha Harlins, a black teenager, is shot and killed by a Korean store owner, Soon Ja-do.
So this has been going on for a long time, apparently. And I mean, I've never heard of this. Like, you're older than me, bro. Have you ever heard of this black and Asian feud? I've never heard of anything like this.
That's what I'm saying. I think, and like the Watts riots, I think a little bit about that was going on. I'm not too sure on that. It's been a while since I watched any like documentaries on it, but I think that's what the time period was.
Yeah. So Mike Zulu, I missed you too. You know what? Haters are my biggest motivators. So I appreciate you coming back to comment, man. I appreciate you coming in and tuning in with me, man. You need to start commenting on my reels more often again. I don't know where you been at, man. If I don't got you hating on my posts, what am I gonna do, Mike Zulu? Come on. He said he got a Trump phone. You asked him what type of phone.
North Korean phone.
Bingo, stay woke. Hey, look, he hate Trump. He got a Trump phone.
That's a double right there, 2 for 1.
You know, move black dollars back to black businesses. Black businesses got to start doing good business. If we're being real, Asians got reparations for World War II. Stay educated. Look, man, I'm not gonna keep giving you a shine on here. That's enough of you. All right, let's hear
A black teenager is shot and killed by a Korean store owner, Soon Ja-do. Do is convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but is sentenced only to parole and a small fine. The black community is outraged and remembers.
Oh, so this is the same old story. Because let's go back. Let's go back. They said, now what happened?
March 16th, 1991. Latasha Harlins, a black teenager, is shot and killed by a Korean store owner, Sunja Do. Do is convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but is sentenced only to parole and a small fine. The black community is outraged and remembers.
What, 6 months probation? I mean, the people were pissed then.
Today, local Korean...
He got 6 months probation?
I heard.
6 months probation. Kayla said, I have myself a fan. Yeah, Micah Zulu is my biggest fan. Like, I got some other fans. I got some people who tap into all my content, but Micah Zulu, my biggest fan yet. You know what, Micah Zulu? You got me on this one. He said, oh, looks like a pattern. Yeah, it does. I'm not even going to lie to you. This one is actually wild. I think this is very different from the Carmelo Anthony situation. I don't know why people are comparing it, because at this point, this sounds like the exact same story happened 30 years later, and the same slap on the wrist happens again. That's actually insane. I don't know where was this at? I might have missed it. LA. It was in LA as well.
Korean radio is broadcasting which stores in the area are threatened. Young men like Eddie Kim rush over to try to defend them.
I don't care about the racism, I don't care anything, but it's not right, okay? It's not right to break inside and get any stuff, you know? It's not right. I don't think it's right.
P. Lee spent last night and will spend tonight guarding his appliance store.
Okay, here's where it starts. You ready? Harley said, yeah, but let's listen. Let's talk about all the black people that rob and shoot up those stores time and time again before these things happen. You know what? That is a point right there. That's a good point. And that's the point that I was going to make when this was over. Because you know what? We always have people who are doing these crimes in their own neighborhoods. They shoot up grandmama's house. They shoot up mama's house. They shoot up anything and everything and anytime and anywhere. And this is the culture. And this is what happens all the time. So to boycott them, and yes, Mike Zulu, things like that happen where you have the same cycle go on. But at the same time, what about the cycle of black people killing other black people? What about the cycle of this gang culture? What about the cycle of hip hop culture? And everybody got to be a gangster. Everybody got to be a killer. Everybody got to be a shooter. Everybody got to serve drugs. Why does everybody have to do that? Why do you think that is, Des? Why do you think the culture is so much like this?
It's easier to walk the path that's already trodden and cleared for you than to create a new path. Or even look for an older path that was there that you forgot about.
But you don't think people get tired of this? You don't ever think that people be like, you know what? I'm tired of my friends dying. I'm tired of my relatives dying. I'm tired of all this. I want to live a different life. How come people don't do that? And how come when they do, they completely leave the entire neighborhood? Is it because they know that their peers aren't going to match that type of behavior?
I mean, it's that same thing like 600-pound life. They know they got to get better, and simply don't sometimes. Sometimes they don't know how. Sometimes they don't want to know how. Other times they just have the motivation to keep it consistent. Sometimes they get cut short in the process, you know, in prison, in our community's case, prison or death. Early responsibility is a big one in our community too. We don't talk about a lot of kids raising kids. So
yeah, that is true. It is a lot of kids raising kids, but this is 30 years ago. You know, like for this to be happening, it's a shame that even then, 30 years ago, we had even worse gang violence in our communities. We've never been. We could always get mad at these other cultures, but we could never sit here and look in the mirror and say, hey, look, we need to do differently.
Yeah.
We need to change the narrative about us. We need to change the stereotypes. We need to change what we're doing so that we can benefit ourselves and actually have these businesses. We're mad because the Indians have the gas stations and the Asians got the beauty salons, and the white people have all the other businesses. We're mad because of that, but in reality, we don't ever want to go and actually build it up ourselves. What do we have? Why don't we have it? It's not because it's not available. It's available to everybody else who came here as a minority.
Mhm.
It's not available to us because we don't act as a community. We go against our community. We kill our own people. We split our community up in sides and gangs in streets, and we kill each other over what side of the town we live on. So here goes Micah Zulu again. Not Carmelo. The South Carolina are murder. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Harley Otta, Ugly Ducky. And for the original case, the kid that got shot in the back did have a gun and didn't point it at the store owner's kid. Now, I think are you trying to say and did point it at the store owner's kid or didn't? And now, do I think a 14-year-old should be shot in the back? No. Well, I mean, I get it. He pointed the gun. If he pointed the gun at him, like they say in the witness statement, which the kid's not alive to tell the story, so you never know. He may have never even pulled out the gun. You never know. But even if he did, they would have never got to that point if they didn't chase them 135 meters outside of the store over 4 $1 water bottles. Like that. That's insane. I hope you're not standing on that one because that one is insane. Micah Zulu. I like whataboutism. So what about the white on white crime? Oh yeah, approximation.
I love that. Let me handle this one because it
Okay.
seems like Mike, you're. I don't say I hate saying pro-black, but that's what it seems like you are. You're pro-black, right? So if you're so pro-black, why are we worried about what's going on with the white population? And that like they're not the ones killing us by the numbers. So I don't understand why you worry about white on white crime when in the name itself, white on white crime does not affect us. But
My bad. Say that again. I gave you a round of applause after white on white crime don't affect us.
so white on white crime in the name in itself definitionally doesn't affect black people. But black on black crime does affect black people. So that whataboutism is a horrible whataboutism.
Yeah. I agree to that because we always worried about what everybody else doing. We ain't ever looking at ourselves, looking in the mirror, fixing our communities, fixing our neighborhoods, fixing our households. Above all that, fixing our households. We're steady having these domestic violence situations and baby mamaism and all this bullshit. We need to be fixing what we have going on for ourselves.
I got whataboutism right here, Josh. So if my house is flooded and it continually floods every time it rains, am I not going to fix my house because my white neighbor's not fixing his house?
Hey, you shouldn't. They set the
According to logic, apparently. According to logic. I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Well, he's a little bit more unfiltered than logical. He only caught half the name. Stan Kaler, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What stupid games and stupid prizes are you referring to? Because I don't think that these kids played any real games. I think that the 14-year-old kid thought about stealing, and he said, "You know what? I don't want to do this," and he put the stuff back. I don't think that he played any type of game. So, what games are you talking about? Micah Zulu, we had Black Wall Street, and then the whites burnt that shit to the ground. There's a lot more to that. You should do the research behind that because how that actually happened is there was a dispute between white people and black people in an elevator, and then there was a shootout, and then multiple white people came to back up the black person or back up the white person who was killed in the shootout. So you should do a little bit more research on that, and not to mention it wasn't burned down how they say it was burned down. It's just not publicized in the way that it should be.
What really took it out was the highways coming through. But I got a question right here from my guy, Dale. He said, why did the parents not know what their own child was doing?
Why did the parent? I mean, he's 14. He could have been coming back from school. He could have been doing a lot of different things. He's 14. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, he could have did something wrong in that situation. The parents could have been more aware, but I mean, he's 14.
Well, if he had a gun,
How much more? Yeah, but I mean, if we're being honest, when I was 13, man, like, you know, and that's the thing. When you're young, you make dumb decisions because you think that's something you could do. And my parents was very aware of what I did, but they didn't know that, you know, like it's not always the parents' fault. Sometimes it's just a victim of your circumstances, the friends that you're around, the places you go. Sometimes it's not the parents, you know. Everybody wants to blame the parents for everything. The parents is not the reason why this kid got murdered by a grown man and his son. My boy Dominic Brown, he probably should have a store in a different part of town. Yeah, I feel that. If you don't want to deal with black kids and stuff like that, and you hate them to the effect that you'll hunt them down 135 yards just to shoot them, maybe go to a different part of town if you're that worried about it. If you have gotten to the point where you've adapted the mentality that you can't allow that to slide, you got to chase them down. Maybe you should move. Maybe at that point, that's the indicator you need to get the hell away from here. I agree with that, Dominic. It's my boy. Harley Otta Ducky. I would say I don't know enough about the case to really speak on it, but it doesn't sit right with me with shooting a kid in the back. I don't care if he stole $1 million worth of stuff. Again, you're talking about stuff versus a life. I agree to that. I fully agree to that because I think this is absolute bullshit. I don't think you should be able to take a kid's life, especially not over some fucking water bottles. Or even if it was $1 million worth of stuff, like you said, it's a child. Well, he had a weapon whenever we found him. Okay, well, you would have never found him if he didn't chase him down there.
Well, like defense said, this isn't a case about a killing over a water bottle.
Yeah. Exactly, over a water bottle. And that's what's so crazy.
No, he's saying
I guess you could say.
He's saying it is not a case about killing over a water bottle.
But it is. That's the thing. It really is. You think it's not?
No, you got to finish the.
What do you think it is?
When he like I listened to his explanation after the case was done, and what he was explaining was that the defense in actuality was a self-defense case. What they were saying was that the 14-year-old had a gun pointed at his son when Mr. Chow finally arrived on scene because he's older, right? So his endurance wasn't up there to sprint a whole 100 yards straight through. But his son, being 18, whatnot, still youthful, was. And apparently the boy tripped or started throwing his stuff, which they said circumstantially matched the statement because they found his bag way over from where he was at, where they found the body at. And going back to Mr. Chow, he said when he got on scene, all he seen was this. So it looked like he was getting ready to shoot his son, so he shot him in the back. And the second important thing to help the self-defense claim is he stayed there. He tried to administer CPR, and according to one of the witnesses, he got vomit all over him and in his mouth in the attempt to give the boy CPR.
None of that shit matters to me, if I'm being real with you. If it's me and I ran down and somebody's at my house, or I own a business, somebody's at my place of business, and I chase them down 5 feet, much less 135 meters, they're going to give my black ass 25 years. And I'm not playing the racial card because I'm mixed. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to look at me, they're going to say it's a black man, and then they're going to give my ass 25. They're not going to give me an opportunity. They're not going to give me 3 years. They're not going to give me parole. They're not going to give me that chance.
Well, that's I don't know.
To sit here and pretend like he deserves that chance is insane. To sit here and pretend like that's any type of way that you can fight self-defense for something like that. You went all the way over there. And then at that point, when you went all the way over there, you and your son chase him down. Now you're in self-defense because the kid stumbled and now he's pointing a weapon at your son because he got caught up because you guys were chasing him for not doing anything. No, I'm not buying that. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm not buying it.
they said they didn't catch him putting the drinks back on the camera. Granted, again,
I don't give a damn. It's $4 worth of drinks. It's not worth chasing somebody. You know, some people at some jobs. I worked at a pawn shop for a short period of time, and you know, you would get fired if you chase somebody who stole something, and you could even get charges pressed on you for chasing somebody down, a thief, as an employee. But because they're the owner of the store, they get away with it. Fuck that.
Agree. But because of the case, they weren't litigating whether he ran out the store to chase the boy down. That was said and done. What they're litigating was, why did you shoot him? Was it because of the water bottles, or do you have a self?
You should have never chased a 14-year-old kid with a weapon. Period.
Agreed.
So all that behind it doesn't matter at that point. If you're looking at it, how they would look at me and you, how they would look at a regular situation, and I'm not even going to say just me and you, at anybody. I'm almost believing that the Asian Defense Acts give them a justification of doing these type of things, because even if it was a white person chasing a person down and doing this, they would have got in trouble. There's no way you could tell me that this is okay, that this is any form of self-defense.
The defense attorney explained that too. In South Carolina, they have what do they call when the police are probable? They have a probable cause for regular civilians. So as a regular civilian, you can have probable cause. So again,
you can't have probable cause for something that's less than $5. It's $1 water each.
Again,
That's not probable cause to do nothing.
I don't know what South Carolina law is, but I do know that they were litigating, why did you shoot this man? They weren't litigating, did you run out the store? Yeah, we know you ran out the store. We know why you ran out the store. What we don't know is why you shot this boy.
I understand that, but I just don't think that the law actually justifies what happened. I think they're able to twist the law and bend the law based off of what cases presented to them.
Hey, sophistry. That's the lawyer's art. Sophist, modern day sophist. My job is to beat you with the best story, make my story more convincing than your story with the evidence and facts that we have here.
Yeah. Whitney said, if we're being honest, when your kids get to that age, I'm sorry, Harley said, if you were being honest, when you get to that age, you're not hovering over them 24/7. That's a fact. You're not hovering over. I remember being 12, 13, 14, 15. My parents didn't know what I was doing. I was doing all sorts of shit that I shouldn't have been doing.
My kid,
if they knew, I would have got my ass kicked.
My guy Dale says, if the kid would have lived, do you think he would have done it again?
I think that the kid really genuinely didn't want to do anything wrong. I think that he was in there tempted because he didn't have any money to steal those waters. It was just water. It wasn't like he was stealing some candy or something like where he was getting out of control. He wanted some water. Cool. He was about to steal it. He didn't. He gave it back. In the story, it's nothing. There's no way you could put any type of point of the finger at this kid. He didn't do the crime. Whether he thought about it or not, he didn't. I could think about walking up and punching you, but if I don't punch you and you never knew I was going to punch you, we could still be cool tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's about what you did, not about what you thought about doing, not about what you wanted to do, not about what your intuition was telling you to do. It's about what decision you made. And that's the whole point. You're supposed to have that ability to make the decisions. You're not supposed to be able to get tried for what you did. And they tried him right there where he stood, killing him.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, if you're look at me being a defense attorney, if you're the dad, you already ran out the store. Granted, you see somebody's got a gun pointed at your son. What you doing?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it has to be manslaughter. It has to be something. It has to be something deeper than that, because you put your son in that situation. Well, now, am I going to shoot? Am I going to shoot?
You have a lesser charge in South Carolina, according to the defense attorney. So either you're going to give him murder or you're going to give him manslaughter.
Okay. Either way, though, I would take whatever it is that it is. If my son is sitting there with a gun pointed to him and I put my son in this situation, if I have to murder this person to do it, I'm gonna take up whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. And as a defense attorney, his job.
I feel that. I feel that, but to sit here and say that he didn't deserve,
unless they directly said we want to charge him manslaughter, according to South Carolina law.
they need to give his ass 35 or more. If I'm being real with you,
They couldn't.
There's no way you could say
they couldn't have. They didn't convict him of a murder. It would have been.
He need to be convicted of murder.
It's a negligent manslaughter.
No, that's not even man. You chased a kid down, like you hunted a kid. You hunted him, and then to sit here and say that, oh well, he was held at gunpoint at that point. That could be all bullshit.
It could
because the kid's not alive to tell the story.
But
it's two of y'all who are alive. You murdered this kid in cold blood, and then you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh well, he was pointing the gun at him. That's why I did it." Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't worth the shit.
But you know what?
I sit here and say that.
I also see it as a warning shot. What are the two things, or let me say three things right here? You've got the YNs. They say it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the teenage takeovers. They say it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, they say they have black fatigue. And they're saying if we're not going to stem it, they will. Here's the warning shot. Same thing with Carmelo. Y'all won't stem it, we will. Here's the warning shot.
But that's not what you do as a justice system. As a justice system, you play fair. You do what's best for the society. You don't get to play politics.
But here's a similarity in both of those cases. It was the jury of peers that made the decision on the judgment and the sentencing.
Yeah, and
So
that's the sad part. It's a combination of both.
But look, in the child's case, half the jury was black.
Yeah. It's a combination of both to me. Because I don't think that it should be that black and white. I don't think it should be that much gray area when it comes to that.
No.
I think that it should already be set to a certain level. I don't care if you seen your kid sitting there. They need to overrule it. They need to whatever the fuck they got to do. This is absurd that you can kill a 14-year-old kid and get away with it.
What does it say, Mika? That was a counter to comparing black on black crime, but to the point of Tulsa. The version is completely whitewashed. Your research sounds like it came from PragerU.
I don't even know what the hell PragerU is. I'm not too worried about what he's saying. Medical evidence proved the son was lying about the pointing of the gun. Stop shooting. Bail for Asians. I mean, if that's true, then I'm in full agreement of it. Fuck that. Like, for real, fuck that. Killing the kid just because he's a kid and you thought he was stealing something. No. You shouldn't have chased him. You should have been there. You shouldn't have did none of that shit. You need to mind your own fucking business. Call the police. Do whatever you got to do. You're not fucking Batman. You're not. And you're not Jackie Chan either, nigga. So, sit your ass down and call the police.
Was it stop shooting ball for what? What did it say? Shooting ball.
Shooting bail for the Asians. He's basically saying you're defending the Asians because he believes that they're wrong.
Because the defense lawyer is the one that said that was the medical evidence from the medical attorney, not me. So if this person did their research, you're right. This person just talks out their mouth, swinging at ghosts. It's actually funny.
He likes to do it. Yeah, it's cool though. There's somebody to talk back to. Fuck it. You're gonna keep commenting. I'm gonna keep getting paid.
As I said, it's actually kind of funny.
Harley, you could legally chase after someone if you believe they stole your private property. Whether you're a store owner or not, theft is still theft, and property owners have certain rights. But just because you can pursue someone doesn't mean it's always a good idea. Personally, I don't think it's worth risking your life over. Merchandise over. Firstly, I have to say that's not true. You cannot chase somebody down with private property. That is not true. Because if somebody's back is turned and you kill them, that's 9 times out of 10 not self-defense. It's very based on what state you are. And even then, 90% of the time, if you shoot somebody in the back, it's murder. But I'll continue what you were saying. I don't think it's worth risking your life over merchandise or money. Given the history of violence crime in some areas, I would be extremely cautious about someone I thought had stolen something. You never something. It doesn't tell me the rest of the comment. Rocco Passos. Yeah, that's not murder. That was pest control. Okay. Well, we're not gonna be answering you too many times. That's wild. I'm gonna see what you said this one time. I'm gonna read this one silently first.
Need a screener?
Okay, so he says they conveniently leave out the part where the same kid was frequently a problem at that store regularly. Stole things and threatened the owner, and others on several occasions prior to the child finally have enough of that bullshit and piss poor police intervention
See,
and took care of the problem himself.
that too.
That is exactly why I say it's not self-defense, because you have a history with him. You had it on your mind whenever he was coming in here, whether he had a problem or not. He chose not to do what he was supposed to do, period. If he wasn't supposed to do it, he didn't do it. You shouldn't have shot him. Shouldn't have chased him. Shouldn't have fucked with him. Should have left him alone. You checked his pockets. He did him a whole shakedown. A whole shakedown. And then you still gonna chase him and go shoot him? Come on. Harley. Josh, I didn't say you could shoot someone. What's up?
Said because they wouldn't take his hand out of his pocket.
Who gives a fuck?
They thought he stole some water.
You don't get to chase nobody down for that.
The whole chasing down, whatever, you know. I'm just telling you what their reasons were.
Yeah, I feel it, but it's literally a felony in some states to chase somebody down over a stolen item.
Yeah, Texas.
Harley Ugly Ducky says, I didn't say you could shoot someone. I said you could chase them. Very different things. But once you shoot them, now it's a whole different scenario. I get you could chase them, but even then, that's not justifiable. And why you shot them? You decided to chase them down. You didn't chase them down because you wanted to have a tickle match. You chased them down because you wanted to apprehend them, hold them against their will.
In Texas, remember, they used to have cattle thefts. So they made it illegal to go get your cattle back. And too many deaths were happening, and that's when it was like, all right, you can't do the shooting and killing while going to call us.
Well, be out here Walker, Texas Ranger in this bitch.
Man. Roundhouse.
Micah, I'm gonna let you answer this one.
What?
The Micah Zulu talking to you.
I gotta wait for it to come up on one of these other screens, man.
Oh, it says your co-hosts like to be loud and wrong.
Oh, that's sweet.
Timothy Taylor, the boycott will only last if black women can find a new plug to get all their hair products and learn how to do their manicure. Okay, so with that being said, is boycott gonna last until next weekend? Come the weekend, they finna be ready to go out to the club again. They need their hair and nails done. So you're right.
Yeah, next holiday is Independence Day, ain't it?
INDEPENT. Do you know what that means? I need their nails done for Independence Day.
Man, hair too.
And with that being said, I feel like overall, man, it's just like, should the boycott be happening? We need to be more worried about our own community than worried about the boycott. We don't need to be worried about Asians and what they got going on as a whole race. We need to be worried about what we can do as our, peers to fix our community. How can we come together? How can we fix things independently? Versus worried about what everybody else is doing. And honestly, they don't care if you come and fuck with them or not. They're coming out here trying to make some money. They're going to sell it to somebody. Yeah, you give them a lot of money, but they're going to sell it to somebody. They're not like y'all. They're not going to go cry about it. They're going to keep going. Unless you burn this stuff down, then they might feel some type of way. Harley said, generally, no state has a law that simply says it's illegal to chase someone who stole your property. In fact, many states recognize some form of citizen's arrest for shopkeeper privilege. But here's the difference, is he chased him down with a firearm in hand. It wasn't holstered. It wasn't in his pocket. It was brandished. It was in his hand, the firearm. That is illegal. You cannot brandish a firearm and chase somebody unless you're law enforcement. You just can't do that. In fact, many states recognize some form of citizens arrest or shopkeepers privilege, which can allow merchants to detain suspects, thieves, under certain circumstances. Detaining means they're already in your possession and you can detain them. It doesn't mean you can hunt them down with a weapon and then detain it. That's not, you don't have the authorization to do that. So no, it's not automatically illegal to pursue someone who has stolen from you, but it is to pursue them with a weapon, a loaded firearm that is being brandished. But anyways, I'll continue what you're saying. Some states even allow limited detention of suspect shoplifters. The states have stricter laws, haven't made pursuits itself illegal. They simply place more restrictions on what private citizens can do during or after the pursuit. I get it, but yeah, it's illegal to chase someone down for a gun. Boom. That's all that matters. With Carmelo Anthony say, oh, well, he had a weapon, so it was illegal, and he shouldn't have had it on school grounds. Well, you chase somebody down with a weapon. You shouldn't have had a weapon while you chasing somebody down, thinking that you're going to do a citizen's arrest or whatever the fuck you thought they was going to do. And it was somebody who didn't even do anything wrong. You're a murderer. It's not manslaughter. You're a murderer. What's your thoughts though? Now that we done kind of talked about everything, we're about to get ready to wrap this up. I know you only had an hour in you. What's your final thoughts on this whole thing?
Boycott? I mean, like my guy Dale right here said, he just said Juneteenth is this weekend. I watched it. So I broke it down. He said, what you gonna do? You gonna stop buying your TVs, your Xboxes, your PlayStations,
Everything in China.
Your Samsung phone. He's like, everything in your house made in China or Japan or some shit like that.
Your Apple phone.
You trying to boycott the Asian race? Well, good luck. Good luck. Now that's all your luxury right there. All your luxury from Asia. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
I like my phone sometimes.
Sometimes when it work right. When it ain't listening in on me too much.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I feel like Siri listening too damn much, but you know.
I like anime.
Timothy Taylor said, I think Rick Child's son who took Cyrus' life, most 58-year-old men can't catch a 14-year-old kid in a foot race for 130 yards. So apparently in the witness statement, Rick Child's son said that he chased him down and tackled him or assisted him to the floor in some type of way. And then at that point in time, he had ruffled into the bag and pulled out his firearm. Had him at gunpoint, and then that's when his father came in and shot him. So I don't know how true that is because the kid's not alive to tell you his side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what he said. But all right, y'all. I'll get y'all's final thoughts here, and then we're gonna close this out. Cause this has been a good show, but I know my boy Des got a roll here soon. You think he's lying for his son? Do you mean that you think he's lying for his dad? Because or you mean that his son shot him, and he's lying, saying that it was him, so that his son didn't get held accountable.
Either way, I think it's possible.
It's definitely possible. When you don't have another witness around, I mean, any of that is possible. There's no cameras. There's no other person alive to speak about it.
That's what I say. All I can do is go off the defense, and the defense said what he said. And when I'm putting myself in those shoes, and those are the facts, quote unquote.
Yeah. Harley says she think the son shot him. Okay. That's possible. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Right.
All right. Well, Des, you got any final thoughts, man? I've been eating this last few minutes, man. I ain't ate all day. I'm about to go eat.
The same, right? But like I was saying earlier, man, when I made my post earlier, it's choices, man. That's what this case and the Carmelo case is really about. Just the wrong choice at the wrong time, ending up being a long-standing decision.
Yeah. Yeah. And it works that way sometimes. Wrong time, wrong choice, like you said. And it only takes a few seconds. It only took 2 minutes for this whole interaction to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Change
Nobody
your
said
life.
breather, which is interesting. Nobody said I stopped and said, you know.
Yeah.
It's just gone. Everybody in every situation.
It just happens. Rolling, adrenaline running, blood pumping, trigger finger itching, and now a kid is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Harley Odd, Ugly Ducky, speculation, of course, not based on facts. Timothy says, didn't Cyrus check his bag in the store? I seen him check his pockets in his hoodie, but I don't know if he checked his bag. And if he did, even then, that's even more reason why they should have left the kid alone. It's an innocent kid. Leave him alone. Let him do what he had to do. If he stole 4 fucking water bottles, who cares? Who cares? It's not that serious. Maybe the kid fucking needed it. It's water. Can understand if he was stealing fucking Snicker bars or something that was actually, something that's not just regular needs.
$5
You know, that's shit. That's a shit $25 blow to your pocket. But we talk about $1 water bottles. Come on, man. It's so sad. But listen, y'all, I want y'all to go ahead and hit the like go ahead and hit a like for the algorithm. Hit that share button if you haven't already. Drop a comment. Let me know what your final thoughts are. Let me know where you guys are from too. If you guys are comfortable, let me know what state you guys are in. With that being said, y'all, I got some merch that just came out. Check the link in my bio. I'm gonna be doing at least 3 or 4 live streams a week. I'm not sure exactly what days. I know me and Dez are gonna hop on here 2 days a week. Try to get Harley back on here. Try to get Diesel on here. My boy Big Al's gonna get on. We all gonna be on here. Give you guys an unfiltered opinion, logically about what we think. Keep tuning in. Keep checking out my content. I appreciate all the growth. 34,000 followers, and y'all definitely go check out my boy Dez. My boy Dez makes some good content. Shout out to Dez. If you want to get a little bit of a higher thinking level, I'm going to give you the raw, unfiltered, what I'm thinking at the moment. If you want somebody to break it down, thought processes, why you feel that way, what's going on, how should you look at your day today, hit up my boy Dez. Check him out. He's going to really give you that breakdown eternally. This dude right here, he knows the psychology of it all, so check out his page. He dropped the link to it. He got a YouTube. He got a Facebook. Talks about a couple different things. Check him out.
Yep.
You got any words for yourself?
That's it. Just follow me on YouTube. If you see me on Facebook, follow me there too. I got some reels that come from the page, but all my longer form content where I can get in depth with subjects and ideas and principles and whatnot. That's going to be on my main page and my YouTube page. I'm on TikTok as well. So yeah, wherever you just type in Karmic Dez on Google and you can find all my information.
Definitely. Well, all right, y'all. It's been a good show. I appreciate you guys tapping into the conversation. I'm gonna probably go live again tomorrow at 5:30. Cause fuck it, why not? Dez, if you want to join, you're more than welcome. I'm probably gonna go live and talk about the peace deal tomorrow, 5:30. So you guys come back in, tap in tomorrow, and we out.
Yep.
This place in peace. America's a big place, plenty of room to breathe. Clocking in early, I just wanna eat. Got kids at the table, bills on repeat. I don't need a sermon, I need groceries. News yelling more, Twitter yelling sent. Everybody talking, nobody clocking in. I ain't trying to say the world with a sign and a tweet. I'm trying to keep lights on, gas in the Jeep. Don't need your labels, don't need your fight. I love this country, I love my life. Keep it think pieces out my face tonight. I'm busy building, I'm busy right. America's beautiful, now stay the fuck out my way. I just wanna feed my kids, see a brighter day. I don't need your liberal bullshit in my brain. I want peace, a paycheck, and a little bit of rain. Yeah, America's beautiful, leave me alone. Let me work, let me live, let me make it home. They argue in circles, I'm stuck in a line. Prices go up, but the talk stay high. Minded every problem solved with a hashtag parade. Still can't tell me why rent double this way. I ain't scared of opinions, I'm tired of noise. I ain't your enemy, I'm employed. I don't wanna clap, chant, kneel, or comply. I wanna grill on Sunday and sleep at night. Mind my business, I pay my dues. I teach my kids how to pick and choose. Freedom means I don't gotta agree with you. Respect means you don't gotta preach me too. America's beautiful, now stay the fuck out my way. I don't wanna feed my kids, see a brighter day. I don't need your liberal bullshit in my brain. I want peace, a paycheck, and a little bit of rain. Yeah, America's beautiful, leave me alone. Let me work, let me live, let me make it home. I don't need a savior, I need a shot at a fair damn chance, that's all I got. Keep the lectures, keep the shame, I keep the hammer, I keep the flame. Built by hands, not a comment section. Life ain't solved by online correction. America's beautiful, now stay the fuck out my way.
Ain't no capping in my logic, it's that real talk vibe. On the side with a grind, don't die, we survive. Mind sharp, money right, truth be the topic. Welcome to the game, this Unfiltered Logic. Ain't no sugarcoating here, just truth in the topic. Be facts, not feelings, that's Unfiltered Logic. Pain made the hustle made profit. I learned from the struggle, now I profit off logic.
This place ain't